Hello everyone. Welcome once again to our YouTube channel. My name is Hezbon. This is my wife.
Gladys.
And for those who are new here, please, you're welcome here. To subscribe, like, share, and watch, please. In today's episode, actually, we are going to do a part 2 of the adoption story we had done like 2 months ago. And this came because we have had some people asking, like, they did get an idea of what we shared and all that, but they had questions that we would like to bring out so that, if there's anyone else who want to know more about the whole story, they'll be able to catch up here. So for those who have already watched, you saw what we covered in part 1 of the adoption story. And today we want to highlight more details on that very thing, whereby I'll be asking her some questions and she'll give us the insights of the whole thing. So, and we stopped at whereby, we had covered everything, and you are happy and proud to have the family that you've had that has raised you to be who you are today.
Yeah.
Something that I'm happy to, because I got a wife out of that. So one question that people were asking is, you had to do some follow-up, with your biological family.
Yes.
How did you come by that?
So it's just when we had Christian, the second child, that's when it dawned on me that I needed to find my biological parents. So Christian is named after my biological dad. His second name is Oweri, which is my dad's name. Yeah, that's when I was like, so when these kids grow, they will eventually want to know where their names come from. And that's where it all started, that's where it all began from.
So you're telling us you felt the urge because we had to name our second born after her late dad, rest in peace, dad. And I think after that you were like, why are we naming a kid somebody that we don't even know where he's coming from? So it started from there, and then what followed next?
Yeah, it's just that the urge that I had, I don't know, same people who might be, there's those people who might be in the same shoes like me. So there's that stage that you reach to a point that you just want to know, not specifically you want them back, just you want to know so that your heart can be at peace. So that's why I had to follow up. So when I was at work, someone, her name is Grace, my co-worker and a very good friend of mine. I know, Grace, you'll be watching this, so thank you so much for being the connecting bridge to my biological parents, especially from my mom's side. So she was asking me, Baba, I've known you, but I don't know really where you come from. Where do you come from? And so I had to explain how I came here, I had to explain. I told her, I don't know where I usually come from, and I usually don't talk about this story, except now that I'm opening up into it. I usually don't talk. I never like to talk about it. So that's when I did open up and told her that, I'm an orphan, and she told me, oh, that's just a small thing, I can connect you, just tell me the whole story. And then she was like, I have a friend of mine who is a policeman, maybe he might know since your dad was a policeman, so they know each other, so he might know. And guess what, guys? So whoever he connected me to was actually my cousin. So yeah, it's such a small world, guys. It's a small world. So we went from there, and so we connected back in 2018 when we went back to Kenya. That's when we went to see my biological parents, my biological relatives from my mom's side.
So you had to track down where your biological parents are, and from what I understand, you had to start from your mother's side, because I think that was the easy one out the cousin you met was from your
My
mother's
mom's
side.
yes.
And so after connecting, you traveled back home to Kenya and you were like, I need to go, I need to get to where my mom came from, so your grandma's place.
Yeah.
What was it like when you finally stepped into the home where your mom came from? What did it feel like? Did they recognize you? How did they welcome you?
Yeah, first of all, I was so happy. So as you remember, we went all together. He did help me actually to track them down. So thank you so much, babe, and I appreciate that. So we did go there with my father-in-law, rest in peace. That's like he really wanted to know that place where I come from, and he was so sick during that time, but he did that honor, to go and find where I came from. So I really appreciate that. Yeah. So yeah, rest in peace, Dad. Yeah. So we went there. I had so many mixed emotions. Yeah, to finally, since from 1996, going back there in 2018. Yeah, so I thought like maybe I will meet grandma, but unfortunately grandma was not there. So the reason as to why I really wanted to go and meet grandma and tell her that grandma, I know I haven't yet made it in life, but I made it. I've made it in life to my eyes. Like there's one thing that grandma told me before I left Kisii to go to Nakuru. So she called me back before we left, and she called me, Judith, come back. I'll just maybe say it in Ekagusi and then I'll translate in English. She called me back and she told me, omwanone ikega timbwatikende ndaba lakini abwase moko genda abantu abumba inyalete ogende osome ni metu no mwana omungaini ole sana ogende osome wachira America kwali nendege nandi no chochokobo muntu omunene ocho imanye tuno chochokobo muntu omunene utakuwa mtu mkubwa, utakuwa rich. Yani alinipatia, she gave me those blessings. So to can I translate it to English?
I think I can help you here quick. She's kind of getting a little emotional, but she's trying to say the grandma before she left, the grandma called her and said, my grandchild, I don't have much to offer you here. You can see, due to the poverty in the background and all that, she wanted to wish her well, that the family that was taking her, they were well off, that they were going to be able to take care of her. And all she could pray for her is to go and work hard, study hard, that one day she'll be going to America. And that's actually a dream that has come true. So that she can become a bigger person in life, she can be somebody who, the community can talk about. So as you can see, those are prayers that have come to pass. Unfortunately, the grandma is not alive, but we know that wherever she is in heaven, she is watching us from there. She's seeing what we are doing, and her prayers has come to pass. It's a story that kind of really gets us sometimes when we talk about it, but I think the more we have been able to talk about it, we've had to find some closure. It's kind of helping us heal. She's not there yet, but it's the memories, guys. As you can understand, when you are in such a position, and she's not feeling emotional because she suffered in life or anything, but because of the good people who've left her life that she never had a chance to say thank you to. So in this whole scenario we are trying to enlighten some other people who might be out there in the similar situation. Like, you can be an orphan today, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of the road. You have to be resilient in everything you do. You have to put your best despite the challenges you might be facing. And if you happen to run into a family like the one she ran into, it was a gift from God. So we can't take that for granted. We all know how important that has been and what part of her life it has played until she is who she is today.
Yes, yeah, so that's the power of the tongue, guys. Grandma gave me her blessings, and they're following me down up to now. Yeah, we haven't, I'm not there yet, but one day I'll be there, and my cup will overflow, and we'll be able to help. I'll pay back to the orphans, I'll pay back to the society. That's the whole thing about the YouTube channel. That's why we're starting this thing, guys. I don't know if we'll be able to finish this bit.
We will finish it. We were sitting here. I know our viewers are very much waiting to see how it goes. I know this is not easy, but we have been talking about the mother side. I'll give a little insight while she gets back to herself here. You know, we went there. Actually, I was among the people who were with her and my parents, despite my dad being so sick. We got there, we were welcomed well actually by the people we met, and the uncles and the cousins. They were surprised. They didn't believe what they had seen, that she had grown to be this, you know, well-developed lady and, you know, with a family and all that. We left there. We didn't have much time actually when we went there. The whole point was to get there and get to know the place. So maybe someday we'll have time to visit again when we can, you know, be able to catch up and get to learn a lot. But it brings me to the next question here. We haven't talked about the dad side yet. How far are you willing to go? Or what do you think will give you closure to the whole situation, to the biological parents part? What are you willing to do to feel like now you are satisfied?
Yeah, so from what I know, after posting the story, guys, the part 1 story, there are some people who reached out to me. They actually know their family. And after my dad passed away in 1989, so yeah, after all that happened, actually, I hear that grandpa did pass away. So there's only, I think, grandma who is left. And like there's really nothing good came out from that family. All the children, all my uncles and aunties, and I think they are no more. Maybe one day when I go back to Kenya, I'll be able to track them down. I have a very close friend of mine that I work with now on my other job that actually knows that family really well. I'm not gonna disclose her name, but she knows herself. I know she'll be watching this, and thank you so much for, you know, telling me about that family. So yeah, maybe in the future I'll be able to, you know, go down there, and yeah. So the story has to, you know, I have to find them. I'll have to find them at one point, yeah, and just show them that, you know, whatever they threw away, whatever seed that they thought that maybe they got rid of, actually germinated, and it's now it did sprout and it's growing well. Yeah.
As we come, like you guys, as you can see, we haven't done much from the dad side. We've been able to connect with the mother side and at least known where they come from and got to see them, and they know that she's doing pretty good. Our next chapter will be the dad side, but you know, we will cover that when we get there. So for now we will, you know, hold on to that until we get to have more information. What we want to finish with is, I would like to ask her, as an orphan who grew up in, you know, a second home that gave her everything she needed, gave her the father, gave her the mother she needed, what advice do you want to give other orphans who might be in a similar situation or even worse, or even to the parents who have orphan kids that have taken them in to raise them? What can you tell them?
So I know Dad will be watching, Mom, I know you'll be watching maybe sometime later. I just want you guys to know that I'm so grateful. I'm not doing this to discredit you. No. You guys did an amazing job, and I will always give credit where it's due. So to my siblings, Francis, Josephine, Beatrice, and my cousin, Minyega, thank you so much. We were raised together, and you could not even tell that. Actually, people, when we were in high school, my brother was ahead of me with by one class. So people never used to tell us apart. They thought that we were actually twins. So yeah, you could never tell us apart. So thank you so much to all my siblings, and thank you to my parents. And what I would like to say is that just do your part and God will bless you. So to those parents who take the kids, the orphans in, or kids in to help them, may God bless you, and may God bless you. That's all I can say. And to the orphans, just continue pressing on. God says that the orphans and the widows belong to God. The orphans are an apple to God's eye. You don't touch those people. So if there is anyone who is out there maybe who thinks that they will mistreat the orphans, when you touch them, you are touching God's heart. So don't continue like praying to God, and everything will come into place one day. It might take long. It took long for me, but I'm still pressing on. I've been through a lot, yeah, but I'm still hanging in there.
Okay, guys, so like you've heard, this is first-hand advice. It's not something that has been made in the background and brought to you on the TV or on your YouTube channels. This is first-hand information coming from one of your own, for those who are in a similar situation. And personally, I can say that I have seen her struggle sometimes when all the memories kick in. It can be hard, but what plays a huge role is the support system that you can provide. So if you are an orphan out there, or if you are a kid with who's struggling with life in one way or the other, if you happen to run into somebody who wants to hold your hand and push you to the next level, please do not take that for granted. Take full advantage of that. Make good use of those resources. Let that family push you to be a better person tomorrow. And appreciate them, regardless of anything. Appreciate them, because that's a family that you didn't have, but you've been given an opportunity to. But I'm not saying this to the parents who also take kids in and sometimes mistreat them in the name just because they feel like they're doing them a favor. You're not doing them a favor, trust me. Because if you decided that you are taking these kids to raise them, then you made an agreement with God that you are carrying this family or these kids to make them your own. So I don't think you will take your own kids and mistreat them. So do your part as parents, raise them like your own, and God's blessings will be upon you. Those kids can be a blessing to you or a cursing to you. So choose your sides well. And I cannot say any better from my parents, because my parents-in-laws, they did a wonderful job. Look at her. It's because of them she's here. She's this good looking. So please guys, we will keep going as this story goes. Like we told you, there's that part of the father side that we haven't covered. I know it's not going to be next week, but when we get there, we will keep you updated as we finish up that adoption story. The encouragement for any orphan out there. Our goal for this YouTube channel, mostly, like we said, it's family-based, all that, but we want, when it comes to it getting any proceeds from this YouTube, we want it to be something that is going to come back to the community, to our society, to those kids who need a home, who never had a chance in life. We want to get there so that we can be their eyes and their second hand and second chance in life. So we would like to wind up here, and for any more questions you guys have, please keep them coming. We are listening. We are here for you. We would like you to keep subscribing for those who haven't subscribed yet, and for the returning subscribers, guys, we appreciate you a lot. Keep going. Let's keep this thing going, because as you can see, it's something we want to be for the community, not just for ourselves. It's something for the society. So until next time, guys, hope you stay safe whenever you are. For our people in Kenya, we can still say safe elections, peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Until next time.
Thank you. We'll see you on the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye now.